Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to dive into how to create SEFI groups using the AO scanner today. And I'm also going to answer some questions if anyone has any. I'm so happy that I have a QLA on my team who has been successfully running SEFI groups for her holistic groups that she has been organizing. So I had her create a video just to describe the SEFI groups to potential clients who want to know more about the groups. And I thought it'd be really helpful to share just how she does everything she does. So I'm going to share her video. So just give me 1 second. Let me bring that up. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to start her video and then you guys can all see my screen, right? It's black. It should be black. Okay, I hope so. All right, so I'm going to click play, and if anyone can't see anything, just let me know. But we're going to start Nicole Vincent's video now. So here we go. Okay, so you guys can't hear anything? You can see the video, but you can't hear anything? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Maybe if I change my audio on here. Hold on 1 second. Let me just see if I can figure this out. Bring it back to here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Just give me a second. Let me stop sharing. Okay. And let me just see if I can change my settings. Maybe the video will pick up. I'm gonna use this. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm gonna try it again. Sorry about that. Okay. So share my screen and share. Okay, now let me know if you guys can hear it now. Hopefully this fixed it. So let's see.
Now, I absolutely love my AO Scan Mobile. I use it for lots of different things, but today for this video, I am focusing on creating SEFI groups to help cover your monthly subscription fee. And so this is something that when I got my AO Scan, I loved the scan features. I love my inner voice, I love my easy scan. But what really called to me are the SEFIs, the subtle energy frequency imprinters. And I love creating playlists intuitively or through muscle testing, and have really seen a lot of benefits. And so as I was seeing a lot of benefits, I already have a holistic business. I already have a well-established Facebook group and community and clients and things like that. And I was like, this would be a great service to share with my client, because I'm seeing a lot of benefits for me and for my family, and I was sharing those in my group, which is very important to share your experiences as you introduce this technology. But as I was sharing this, I'm very strategic minded, and so I'm like, okay, well, how can I help more people? How can I get this to more people? And how can I help cover my monthly cost? How can I do it in an efficient manner? And so this is kind of what I've come up with are these SEFI groups. Now, I'm going to show you logistically how to do them and how I do it with my AO scan and things like that in a minute, but I'm just going to kind of share the concept with you. Now, this for me, I personally, because I already have a separate business, I'm not currently focusing on building a business with AO scan. I literally was just trying to cover that monthly fee. And so that was my goal with my SEFI groups. And that was kind of my monetary goal. My helping goal is I really wanted to help more people because my time is very limited. And I wanted to help more people in a cost-effective manner for them and in a time-effective manner for me. And so this is where this came from. Now I'm going to show you my AO scan running here on my computer. Where is my, there we go. Okay, so here I'm actually running my weekly groups here. If you don't know about this little loophole, use this loophole. It's awesome. If you take your web browser. I personally use Google Chrome, and you can open up multiple tabs running SEFI lists simultaneously. So you can see I've got multiple runs here. I just created this one for demonstrations of for this group. So let's back up a little bit. Logistically, how are we going to do this? So first off, you're going to create a new space or object. You're going to create a group. Now, go to your main profile. So whatever, whoever you are, go to your main profile and go down to spaces and objects. Now you can see here, and this will be blurred for privacy purposes in the recording, but we have various groups, and what you do is you just create a new space or object, and you're going to name your space or object. So we're going to name this SEFI growth group. And we're going to put in everybody's name that is going to be part of this group. Who is part of this focus? You're going to choose your focus. And I'll give you examples of those focuses here in just a second. So you're going to put in your names. Jennifer Jones. So you can put in people's names. Now, the beauty of energy work is your name is your signature. And so that's how the energy gets to everybody. So as long as you have their full name, first and last, if you've got somebody that, like my husband, for example, goes by his middle name, so we usually just put in his middle name for his name. Sometimes people, if they've recently gotten married or divorced, you might want to put multiple last names, maybe a maiden name and their last name, things like that. But put in their full name in the description. Now, for the image, you can either leave it blank. It totally works fine if you leave it blank. I typically will create a kind of an icon, an image that represents that group. So if this was for sleep, I would choose a sleepy icon that would represent sleep. And I would just do it that way, just for me to visually keep track of that group. Once you have your names all typed in, you click save. Now that I have this group, and you can see SEFI growth group down here at the bottom, when I go to my main screen and I go to SEFIs, you've got your SEFI target that you can change. So going down to our SEFI growth group, and then we're going to do a custom playlist. Now, you're going to create these lists based on your focus. So last month in my SEFI groups, we had an abundance group. And so this was the playlist that I muscle tested and intuitively picked to focus on abundance and raising our frequency for more abundance in our life. And so you can do this through just looking through the various lists that are available as SEFIs. You can do it through intuition, through muscle testing, through pendulum use, through whatever means that you like to create this list with your focus. So let's say we want to help you guys grow more, have more SEFI business, then abundance would be a great list to do. So once I have the target, once I have the playlist I want to do, then I'm going to click. I usually do it simultaneous, actually always do it simultaneous, and then I'm going to do continuous broadcast. Now I am going to broadcast this. I will personally muscle test for how long this needs to run. You can intuitively, or you can just decide, hey, I'm willing to run this for 30 minutes, or I'm going to run this for an hour. I will say in my experience, most of my lists energetically are going to want to run for at least 20 minutes to an hour. I do have one group that likes to run for about 3 hours, and that's my weight release group. But you run your group, and then you can have other tabs going. So for example, I've got these are my weekday groups. I run Monday through Friday. I run these every day. And so this is my motivation group. This is my mental function group, digestive support, hormone balance, skin support, and then this one that we just created with our SEFI growth group. So that's logistically how you run them, how you do it in your device. You can actually, on your device, if you're running it from your actual, your SEFI thing, which I never use that. I always use it on my computer or my smartphone because it runs a lot faster. If you do it on your smartphone, you can, or your device, you can actually, instead of using the app button, if you go to your browser, you can create different tabs and you can run multiple lists at once. Now, remember, on SEFI, you don't need to have the audio turned up. So what I do on my list is you can right click and go to mute site, and that way it's not making terrible noises and you can listen to other things on your computer or your device while you're doing it. So if you do that, it keeps that site muted and you're not hearing the SEFIs, which you don't need to hear anyway, because it doesn't have any benefit. So that's logistically how I run it. And then I actually will notify people through a free group texting app called Group Me. And that I just let them know, hey, I sent the abundance SEFIs, the motivation SEFIs are broadcasting now. And I let them know when that's running. Now, it's very important that you're explaining to your clients and your people that they're not going to receive anything physical, because frequencies, right, it's energy. And so let them know you're not getting anything to listen to. You're not going to be getting an email from me every time this is happening. You're not going to have to be on any calls. There's nothing physical for you to do other than receive. And so that's why I did the Group Me, because that gives them an indication and notification to let them know, hey, I'm sending these frequencies to you now. Something is happening, or I sent them this morning, this is happening. And so that helps them know that they're getting something, right? Even though it's something that's intangible, we know that it's there, we know that it's benefiting them. Now, it's important that when you are in your SEFI groups and when you're sharing about SEFIs, that you are letting them know kind of your experiences. Let them know, oh, I'm seeing weight loss, I'm seeing less pain, I'm seeing better digestion, I'm seeing that I'm happier, I'm sleeping better, whatever your SEFI experience is. It's important for you to share those experiences, and then ask people in your communities to share their experiences as well. And so as they're sharing, as you're sharing, people are going to get excited about this. Now, with the SEFI groups, I'm going to show you my how I have people sign up for these. Now, this is what the, let me see, where is my thing? Hold on. Cancel. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So on my website, so this is my main website, NicoleRVincent.com. I have a frequency session section, and then I just have them join a SEFI group. Okay.
Can't go? Do this to clear out stuck poop fast. Fiber helps you poop, right?
Hold on one
Nope.
second.
According to New York's top gut doctor.
Now on this form, and you can do
Sorry.
this form, I use Zoho Forms, but you can also do it through Google Forms, which is a great way to intake information. I have an explanation of what SEFIs are, so they know what to expect. I have a link to my YouTube video explaining SEFIs groups and how they work and what they can expect for their, their information. And then these are my different groups that I'm offering, and I change them a little bit each month. There are some that stay, but they're based on how often I'm doing it. So my daily groups is every single day of the month. Every single day, I'm sending these 4 playlists, focus on those different things. Every weekday, I'm sending SEFIs based on those focuses. And then I have once a week ones that I send as well. And so you can set them up however you like. You can also do like a sample SEFI where you share, hey, we're gonna do a sleep test group. I got this new toy. We're gonna do a sleep test group. And you create a sleep SEFI playlist and let people try out for a week or whatever and see how they like it. Or whatever focus, something that's a little bit more obvious is a good sample thing. If you're doing a sample of chakra balancing and shielding, honestly, most people, unless they're very energetically in tune, will probably not notice a difference on that. Now, for me, I notice when I haven't run that one yet. I notice when my chakras are off. I notice when my shields are down a little bit, but that's because I'm very energetically sensitive. Now, those people that aren't are not going to notice the difference, but they will probably notice the difference if they're sleeping better, or if their digestion is improved, or if they're feeling more motivated, or they're feeling less pain, things like that. So this is an example of how I have people sign up. I have, they have their payment and their release forms, and I have them check saying, I understand that I'm not going to be getting anything other than this frequency. I'm not going to get an email. I'm not going to get information. Like, I'm not going to have anything physical that I'm receiving, which is very important, because that you don't want people to think that they're going to be receiving something that they're not. And with a lot of people, frequency therapy is a new concept. And so you kind of have to educate them. Now, I will tell you, on the education of people, it's not your job to convert them. It's not your job to convince them that it works. The people that are not drawn to this and aren't really interested, let them fall away. More people are going to come. If you spend all your energy and time trying to convince someone or try to prove to someone that it works, you're going to be wasting a lot of time and energy, and it's not worth it. So with SEFIs, with frequency therapy in general, just have the mindset that the people that need this and that are going to understand and benefit from this are going to be attracted to you. Don't waste your time on people that aren't going to understand what's going on. So with these SEFI groups, what that allows people to do is to have an experience. They're able to have an experience for a month. And I will tell you, the people that in my experience, the people that have opted into more frequency groups have seen better benefits. And they are the ones that are like, I want my own scanner. I want my own device. I want to take care of this myself. And so they're the ones that are signing up. And they're the ones that are wanting to really become empowered and take charge and become the driver in their own life. And so, but I'm going to have people too. They're like, I just want you to take care of this for me, Nicole. And that's totally fine, because there is an administrative, not a headache, but there's an administrative process to it, where I'm having to schedule out the time. I'm having to create the groups. I'm having to make sure I run the groups. I'm having to make sure I notify people through GroupMe. I'm having to set up the groups and the emails and process the payments and things like that. So there is that administrative thing. And that's part of why people pay me to do it, because I'm taking care of that for them. They don't have to think about anything. And there's people that are fine with that. And they're like, here, just take my money. And they don't care to have their own thing. You're going to have people that do want their own device. And if you get them in with SEFIs, then you can say, well, look at all these other things that this AO scan does with Easy Scan and Vitals and Quick Scan and like all the amazing technology that the AO scan offers. But the SEFIs are such a great gateway to help people see the benefits of frequency therapy. So that is how I am using SEFI groups to introduce this frequency therapy to more people. And it's important to kind of create a community. I already had an established community that was ready and focused already on holistic things. They were used to energy work, they're used to frequency and vibrational type concepts. And so as I introduced this new tool, it wasn't a stretch for them. If you don't have that kind of group or that kind of audience, you might need to work on creating that community on your own, whether it's a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group or an in-person community where you're getting together. But with SEFIs, there's such a great tool that can help people. It doesn't matter where they are. If you've got their name, you've got their permission, you send them those frequencies and it's great. So if you have questions, please comment with this video. I'm happy to answer them and share with you what's working for me. And I just hope that you use this idea to help at least cover your monthly cost for your AO scan, if not to grow your business and to help as many people as you can. So have a great day. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much, Nicole. That was so awesome. Oh my gosh. Nicole's actually on and she's available for some questions. If anyone has questions for her, feel free to unmute or drop them in the chat. I love your explanation of like, don't try to convince people, like more people are going to come, whoever it really resonates with, that's who you're going to build with. And you shouldn't have to waste your energy or your time trying to convince anyone like, no, it's working. Look, let me show you this. Or let me, like, there's no reason to do that. Like you have a whole bunch of people out there in this world who are going to vibe with it and understand it and are looking for this. So Nicole, do you have anything you want to add or highlight?
So one thing that I have found with doing SEFI groups is that I didn't figure this out yet on when I did this video, is I actually do an erase before I run the group. And so I have found that that really just helps clear out any gunk energetically that might be there. And that really, I have noticed, has really raised the efficacy and the more noticeable benefits for the groups. I think that was the main thing that I was like, oh shoot, this isn't in the video, because I figured that out like a week or two later. I'm like, I'm not redoing it. But that would be the main thing. And like, you don't have to offer as many groups as I do. I'm I'm weird like that. But do what works for you, because it takes time to run the groups, right? And you can do the tabs, and that can help, but make sure that you have time in your day to do it. And if you're a forgetful person, make sure you schedule it, like have a Google remind, because if I don't do that, then I'm like, oh, it's like 8 o'clock at night. I was like, oh crud, I haven't done my groups, and you don't want to be sending like energy boost to people like when they're getting ready to go to bed. So just, make sure that if this is something that you want to do, to think about how it's going to work for you. It might not look exactly like I did it, but this is just to kind of plant that seed, because I know most of us are kind of like, oh, how am I going to afford this? Like, I really want this, but a lot of times you're not making money right away. But with the SEFI groups, like, it really doesn't take very many people to opt in. It's a low cost for them, but good return for you, because then you're getting your monthly covered until you start getting that team built, until you start getting, that there other people getting their own subscription, so that money is just coming in without you having to run SEFI groups. So now, like, I don't run SEFI groups as often because I have had more people sign up, and so that I have more income than is, above what my monthly charge is. So that's what I would say. So if you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I'm curious, after you run everything, I love how you implemented the erase negative energy like before. Do you ever shield after?
I've never felt the need to do that, because
Okay.
a lot of my list, because I'm an avid muscle tester. And so like I custom make each of my lists and I adjust them as needed. And I typically have found that most lists want that energy shield built in
Oh,
in the
yeah.
playlist. And
Okay.
so a lot of times that's is already covered.
Mm-hmm. Let's see the
I
chat.
have questions. It's Naomi here. Hi, Nicole. I just wanted to say first, I am like completely obsessed with this. When Nicole shared it with me, I was like, this is brilliant. So I'm like so excited that you're here today explaining this to us. So I did have a couple questions. You answered one of them where you said like erase first. And then I'm wondering, with regard to follow up, you mentioned that you just message them and say like, you know, I just ran the frequencies. Is there ever a point that you communicate with them on some form of platform as a means of like maybe introducing the scanner, or how do people know that the scanner is an option to them? And, you know, how do you kind of like keep them warm and wanting to come back and that kind of?
So I'll typically do like, hey, if you guys want to learn more about what this device can do, like let's have a Zoom. And so I'll just schedule a Zoom and have people just do that. Or I will, if you know, I typically like the people that are buying like the everything package where they're spending more than what the monthly subscription would be. I will usually like let them know, hey, just to let you know, like I you know, because those, it's interesting because those people that were buying like the full package every month, I'm like, I would reach out to them privately and just say, hey, look, like I love you and I care about you. Let me tell you how you can actually get this for cheaper and get a ton more value. And I usually just do that in a private message, you know, an email or a text or a Facebook message. And I just will get on a one-on-one Zoom with them. And because most of my people are not like physically close to me. And I just do it like that way.
Awesome.
So
Thanks.
yeah. Okay. And then Melissa has a question. Do I offer daily or one-time weekly sessions they could purchase? So I've done a lot of different varieties where some things were once a week. So they would just get it like every Monday, you're getting, you know, pain relief SEFIs or whatever. But I would also offer things that were daily. So it really depends on what you are willing to do. Like at first I was doing dailies where it was every day of the week. And then I figured I was like, I really do not like working on the weekends or having to remember something on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I trimmed like if I did anything, it was only going to be Monday through Friday and do like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to run these on the weekend. You'll get it Monday through Friday. And that's what worked better for me. Yet people would notice a difference on the once weekly sessions. Because usually the things that I chose to do on the once weekly sessions, and I'll share in the chat, I have like a whole list of like topic ideas that you could use. Because if you're a muscle tester or you're just kind of, you know, you're in tune with your intuition, then you can use this list to kind of determine what groups might be best suited for your circle of influence. And that's what I would do is I would just muscle test, what is our group's need for this month? Mm-hmm. And the once weekly sessions were typically more targeted. So I would have like skin or digestion or I think pain relief, and other like daily ones would be like motivation and chakras. The ones that were like daily were, I would say, on the more subtle, like they were more like the benefits would be more subtle than the once a week. Not that the results were less obvious, but there definitely, people would definitely see a benefit with the once a week thing, because it was usually more of a physical type issue that would be a once a week thing.
I have one more question regarding feedback. So I know we're really trying to work on getting testimonials and things like that. Do you have a process for like getting that and sharing that with your community?
No, but I should. I did for a little bit, but it wasn't really, I wasn't great at promoting it. But I'm a total fan of like Google Forms or Zoho Forms. Zoho, you have to pay. And if you're wanting to accept payment through a form, it's a great, like, I think it's only $100 a year or something, like, it's not ridiculous. And you can install PayPal through there, but you can also just do Google Forms and have your payment information there. But I would just do like a feedback, like, hey, at the end, please fill out this feedback form. And I would, just because some people are like, oh, I really don't know what I saw. So I would have be very mindful of how you're asking the questions, and maybe do like a sliding scale. Like, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much did you see benefits? And then like kind of, because when you ask for just, can you give me feedback? Most people are like, so giving them good prompts is important to get.
Because I feel like I've gotten the testimonials, like I'm hearing them, but they're not actually writing them or whatever. So I don't know if I have to like write them out myself to share with the world, or
You
like,
might, because you're gonna have people that are a lot better doing verbal stuff than writing. I'm totally that way. I would much rather record a video or a voice memo than try to write you an email. And
voice memos are a great idea, Nicole. I love that.
Yeah, so you can totally transcribe. Yeah. So like if Janet's like,
yeah,
hey, me like that freaking rocked, like I slept so good. You say, hey, can I write that down for a testimonial? And she's like, sure. And so you type it out, Janet, Janet in New York,
totally.
Or likes it. So
great idea. Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea. Screenshotting text messages.
Anybody else have more questions?
And if you think of anything afterwards, like, I'm on Facebook, email me, I'm in the group chat. So just let me know, but just tag Nicole Vincent, because
yeah.
There's 2 Nicole. Oh, actually, I think there's multiple Nicoles in there. So
yeah, and also your Nicole R Vincent, right? .com.
That's my website. Currently, like, I'm in a little hiatus recreation thing, so there's not a lot there right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I've got like a newsletter, I think, link that you can sign, but I think that's about all that's on there right now. But yeah.
Awesome. Another question about the SEFI dots. So I'm new. How can I think of this versus using SEFI dots? I mean, I think with SEFI dots, like, what I do like about the SEFI dots, it's very specific to like where you place them. It can be used in that way. So like, for example, my sister had like terrible hip pain, and it was actually right back after I got back from Utah with the SEFI dots. And I was picking up my kids at my sister's house, and she was having this horrible hip pain where she couldn't even like move, like getting up the stairs was hard. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Let's try the SEFI dots. And we imprinted all frequencies for pain and hip pain and joint pain. And then she put the SEFI dot right on her hip. I was like, well, put it where it hurts. You know, that makes the most sense. And the next morning she got up and she went to yoga. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I don't know if you like, I feel like it's really just like a personal thing, what you like. But if you're having like a specific area, you might want to try the SEFI dots. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I've also had it like with SEFI dots, like sometimes you have people that do want something physical. And so like I had a gal that had knee pain, and so I just programmed like a bunch, like a month supply of SEFI dots for her, with the playlist that worked for her knee pain, and mail that to her. So it's kind of a like, yes, they're both using SEFIs, but they're kind of used in different ways. So SEFI dots are more individual, and the SEFI groups that I'm talking about that's more of a group type thing. But SEFIs work regardless.
Yeah.
I was going to add too on the SEFI dots. I like them because people can see them. So like they kind of forget that they're in this like healing mode. And when they go to look or they see the SEFI dot, it's a reminder that they actually have these frequencies coming for, you know, additional openness of acceptance. Also too, it opens up a conversation to other people to ask like, well, because people ask me all the time, like, well, what is that? Like, what are you wearing and why do you have that on?
Mm-hmm. But I do feel like
He's asking, how do we protect them? Like I got little, I think they were aluminum lined envelopes or something, like little pouches, like little Ziplocs. And I just, on Amazon, and I just slipped them in there, and then I just mailed it that way.
they also have through Solex the SEFI sharing kits.
Oh, perfect.
So that might have been after you've done that. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of people were asking, like, how do I mail them? One other thing too, I feel like with the groups, what's really cool with that is there's almost like a synergy. So like everybody's energy kind of like builds up together. So I have noticed some really cool shifts when it's done in a group setting. Does anyone else have any more questions? Because we have about 2 minutes left. So if you guys want to ask anything else, please feel free to reach out. I am going to save this video. I know there were a bunch of people who couldn't make it today, so I will be sharing this. So Nicole, you might have some more questions coming your way. But thank you so much for doing this. I'm so happy that we're able to get you on to share about all of this.
Thank you. That was awesome.
So happy to be here.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks so much. Everyone have a great weekend, and we will see you guys soon.